प्राजते तद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसूर्योभासनचन्द्रतारकम् देवादित्यो भान्तितो यमध्वनि तमेव भासनं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति सहस्रशीर्षः पुरुषः सहस्राक्षः सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो वृद्धिमान् अत्यतिष्ठद्दशाङ्गुलं पुरुष एवेदं सर्वम् यत्पूर्णं यच्छव्यम् उदामृतत्वस्येषानः यदन्येनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायदष्टपूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वभूतानि त्रिपादस्यामृतं दिवि त्रिपादूर्बाहुदैर्पुरुषः पादोऽस्येहा भवात्पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनानशने अपि तस्मात् विराजयत विराजो अधिपुरुषः स जातो अत्यरिच्यत पश्चात् भूमिमतो पुरः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की
Hari Om, and a very hearty welcome to everyone. I'm very happy to see many faces here who we haven't seen for a very long time. Chinmaya Mission is celebrating 75 years globally, but here we in Trinidad with Swami Prakashananda will be celebrating 30 years next year. Swamiji has been here prior to the 30 years as Prem Chaitanya, and he has been in this area since then. Okay, and I'm sure he will reminisce on the times he spent in this area. So he has done an excellent job at transforming Hindus to Hinduism in this country, and it is seen by the number of young people especially that we see who are following him. So without any further ado, if there's anyone who hasn't yet been converted, please let's learn for your conversion.
Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam कृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण 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 शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तककेशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुराः सुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः हरि ओम् हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
राम राम हरे हरे
राम राम हरे हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
कृष्ण कन्हैया की जय। Okay, let me welcome all of you to this Gita series. Today we are starting chapter 16, we'll see. Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, it is called. That is the name of each chapter has its own name. So for those of you who are being introduced to Bhagavad Gita for the first time, there are 18 chapters in Bhagavad Gita. Some of the chapters are very long. Like chapter 2 has 72 verses. This chapter only has 24 verses. Chapter 16 only has 24 verses. So it is called as Daiva Sura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga. That is a long name. What it means is, Bhagavan just, simply it means this. Bhagavan just makes a list of all good qualities and another list of all evil qualities. That is all. The name sounds long and daunting, but it is an ordinary thing. Let me tell you a little bit about that list itself. This is chapter 16. Way back in chapter 7, Bhagavan already had said there, see. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna.
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 Ichha Dvesha Samuthena.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna.
Dvandva Mohena Bharata.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna.
Sarva Bhutani Sammoham.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna.
Sarge Yanti Parantapa.
Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna.
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 Krishna Kanaya Lal ki
Jai.
Okay, so Bhagavan is telling a very important thing. And see, the basic and fundamental things about life that we don't pay attention to. We pay attention to all the, in today's world, highfalutin things. And it is getting more and more. Everybody is looking for attention and how many likes I got on social media and how many views I got and how many times people, noticed me and clicks and and all the different, People are looking for those things, but the basic and fundamental rules about life laid down in Bhagavad Gita, in the Upanishad, in Vedanta and all, we don't pay attention to those basic rules. And this is the important thing. The basic rules about life is like the basic rules of every other thing. If those basic rules are not there, everything loses its essence. Like for example, if you go to look at a football match, right? And like, when they give out portfolios to newly elected officials, many times you have square pegs in round holes. Have you seen that? They put somebody in a ministry department who knows nothing about that ministry. He doesn't know anything about health. And they put him in health or something like that. So they put one minister as Minister of Sports. So he went to a football match. And he was the chief guest. And at the end of the football match, they asked him to say a few words. He's the Minister of Sports, and this is a big sporting event. So in the few words, what he said, I do not know what is the condition of sports in our country. I don't know what the previous government was doing. Look at the deplorable state of sports in this country. 22 players on the field, and they only have one ball. What did government do in all these years? The previous government. Now, under my reign as Minister of Sport, I will make sure that every player has his own ball. Now, you think, if you break the most basic and simple rule about football, anybody will go to watch that match? You will go to see 20 players have one ball. That referee also had to run away from it. Because when 22 of them kick in, he had to be careful. So, in a football match, there are so many rules. When the ball goes outside the line, you get a throw. When it goes on that side, when you get a corner. Like that. Everything has its own rule and rules, and then you have to follow all the rules, otherwise that football match makes no sense. The problem with life is people don't learn the rules. You do tell me, does a dog have any rule? Think about this. Dogs live by instinct, right? He lives by instinct. There is no rule. The dog doesn't think, on our side there is dog chow. On the neighbor's side there is dog chow there. But I cannot eat the neighbor's dog chow. I have to eat our dog chow. Because in civil society, that is the rule. You can't go and take your neighbor's car and go to work. So in civil society, there are rules. But for an animal, there are no rules. He doesn't care about rules and all. If he sees nice food on that side, he goes that side. That is why when Hanumanji ate all the fruits in Ashok Vatika, Ravan asked, so who gave you permission to take the fruits? You steal the fruits. Because in civil society, you can't just go and take people's fruits. Hanumanji said, that is civil society, as a monkey. Monkey can take any fruit. There is no rule for no monkey. But so I'm using a word called a civil society. And civil society has rules, right? So those rules are civil rules which are laid down by the government, the state, the powers that be and all. They lay down rules that apply to all people. That is to make sure that there's harmony and all that, security and safety and everything in society, right? So human beings lay down civil rules, but then there are so many countless spiritual rules about this universe, and that is the one I'm talking about. Nobody pay attention to. And now in this verse, and I'll tell you now some of those things, what we mean by rules, how the universe is structured and how things happen, and then what we are supposed to do. The scriptures are telling what we are supposed to do. Now see the verse. I chanted a verse just now from the 7th chapter. Bhagavan is saying, Ichha dvesha samuthena, by desire and aversion, by the groups, or what you call the pairs of opposite, because this is one, I desire this thing and I want to avoid this thing. So there's a pair of opposite. This one I'm running towards and this one I'm running away from. So they are called the pairs of dvandva. In the next part that says, Dvandva mohena bharata. We are all deluded by this duality. So there are things in the world which I desire and there are things in the world which I want to run away from. So the world is filled up the pairs, samuthena, samutha means the groups. So here, groups, all the pairs of opposites. So we have likes and dislikes. We have joy and sorrow. We have life and death. Good and evil. We have young and old. Health and disease. We have rich and poor. Hot and cold. Now how many? That's why samutta. Samutta means all the big group of pairs of opposites. So the first rule about life is you are living in a world which will have pairs of opposites, and someday we will get hot, someday we will get cold, someday we will get sun, someday we will get rain. Someday you will be healthy, someday we will be sick. Someday we will be happy and joyous and bubbly and exuberant and I can't stop. Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm dancing. And the next day, same fella, well, he depressed. What happened? Why your face day so far? Swami, I go tell you, so my face day. The next day, same fella. Isn't it? So this is called Dvandva. In the 7th chapter, the verse which I am telling you, is called Dvandva. And it says, from birth, Saragayanti Parantapa, Sarvabhutani Sammoham. All beings are caught in the throes of this pairs of opposite, and we are tossed hither and thither, all sides, jumping from this place, next minute crying, next minute laughing, next minute joyous, next minute miserable, like that. And when we have any of these emotions, well, the people around us, well, they also have to bear with it. And I also inside, I'm feeling today is so good. Next day, I don't know what happened. So I am tossed like waves, the waves go up, and then, ta-dam, comes down. So now, the rule about the universe is that the universe is made up of the pairs of opposite, and then the pairs of opposite will strike my mind like the wave will, some wave will take you up and another wave will bring you, the depression will take you down. This is the nature of the universe. Now, the rule, which Bhagavad Gita, and I told you there are spiritual rules. The rule is, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is teaching throughout the Bhagavad Gita from beginning to end to maintain balance and equilibrium and equipoise in all of these pairs of opposite, to maintain balance. But that is not what the rule which anybody follows. That is the spiritual rule. I have to follow that, maintain my equilibrium and balance. People don't do that. What we do? We run from pillar to post. If this side of the pair of opposite comes, then I run to that side. And then the one that I ran away from, that dogs my heels. Because the rule of the universe is that the universe is made up of the pairs of opposite. The atom has a positive charge and a negative charge. The two will always be there. So we cannot run away. We cannot run away from anything in this world. Listen, see, I was visiting a doctor. See, even the doctor who is trying to get rid of diseases of everybody, the doctor is trying to get, in other words, what? He is holding on to this side, what? Health. And he himself is having all the healthy lifestyle and trying to get rid of people's health also, because his work is that. He's a doctor. And the real thing, then I went to his house. We'll go for a walk, I asked him. No, right now I can't go, sir. What happened? No, sir, I was flying from here to London. From here to Paris. And the plane had to make an emergency landing in London. What happened? I got a heart attack on the plane. He's telling to me, this is the same man who's treating people's disease for years, to get rid of disease. And what we want, this side of the pair, the opposite is what? Health. So I want health. I want to get rid of disease. So he himself maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting rid of disease of people for so many years. And then now, it means to say that even if I'm staying on the healthy side, who knows what will happen. He said, in other words, the other side dogs his heels, no matter where we are. And this is the rule of the universe. The pairs of opposites are ubiquitous, omnipresent. They are there everywhere. You can't escape. So, instead of spending our time, which we do, run from pillar to post, instead of spending our time running away from all the undesirable things and running towards the desirable thing, which all human species is engaged in, Bhagavan is teaching some other rule of spirituality. What's that? Accept that both will come. And when they come, maintain your balance. It's a way better proposal. You know why? Because if I choose the first option, what is that? Run away from all the pairs of negative side. Right? I run away from disease, run away from this thing, run away from that. It will dog my heels, and then I will run again, and it will dog my heel, and my whole life I keep. One dog decided he go migrate from Bihar to Delhi. He said, with Bihar, I don't like Bihar. Bihar is backward state, I will migrate to Delhi. So he leave Bihar and come in east and west now. When he reached Varanasi, them Varanasi dog and them says, who is this strange fellow? But you ever see any dog come to any village and the other dog them leave in peace? But they take off behind him. So he didn't get to stop in Varanasi. They take off behind him and he speedy take off when he reaches Allahabad. Which is Prayag now, Prayag. When he reached Prayag now, the same thing, Prayag dog will leave him. So the Prayag dog and you don't know this geography what I'm talking about. The Prayag dog and I'm taking behind him. And poor fellow ran and he can't. And the same people in Kanpur, them dog take off behind him, he reached Delhi. When he reached Delhi now, big city, he said to himself, see, it's a good thing I could run fast enough. I reached Delhi in one day. He praising himself, he reached Delhi in one day. But he reached Delhi only because the other dogs, not any praise to he. He had no choice in the matter. So, this human being like this, he is propelled by these pairs of opposites, and he keeps running from this one to the next, and he keeps running, and the last leg of his journey, he ends up in Waterloo. This is it. That first proposal, this is where it ends. Because, and let me tell you, even in Waterloo, he's trying to run there too. He trying to, what? He trying to run away from the burying, cremating he in pants and shirt when he had dead. Make sure you put on a nice kurta pajama for me. That too, white collar. So he run away from black collar. He running away towards white. When he going to Waterloo also, he's still running from one side of the pair of opposite to the other side. Everything down the road. And he's telling all the details that he wants. So because you run away from this side, I want this side. So the whole life is run. Bhagavan is telling you, no. Just wait a minute. Stay. See the rule of the world. The rule of the world is that it is made up of positive and negative in every atom, and everything is like that. It has the two sides, and the two sides are everywhere. You will never be able to escape them. Just remain calm and now learn to maintain your balance. And in the next verse right there, a very nice hint is given as how to maintain the balance. Tesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam is the next line. Te dvandva mohan nirmuktaha bhajanti mam dravataha. He says. But that first line of that verse is a key to maintain this balance. And here is very interesting thing. Now think along, and then I'm putting chapter 16 in context. if you leave a little child, and this is one of the problems Trinidad is having right now, if you leave a little child to the elements, that child will learn all good things, or that child will learn all bad things. Think. That is why we have schools like this, isn't it? So that you bring these children to the school and you teach them all the alphabets and you teach them all the values, and you, like in Chinmaya Mission we teach values to the children. If you leave a human being to the elements, they will not learn all good things. If you leave a dog to the elements, he will not learn all good things. That's why they have dog trainers and so many various things. By nature, if you leave anything to the elements, any jiva, the jiva will not turn out good. The jiva will become a victim to all the negative forces rather than all the positive forces. So children left on the street that don't have proper parenting and all, they end up in gangs. They end up in all the gangs and all. That is the nature of the world in which we live. You see? So, in that line, in that verse in the 7th chapter, Bhagavan is saying, those who have brought their all papa, means all the evil things which they are doing, brought it to an end by how? Doing all the good things. Tesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam. Those who have done punya. It means to say, by nature we will find ourselves doing all the wrong things. Nobody has to teach that. They only have to teach to do all the good things. Our schools are there to teach to do all the good things. To do all the wrong things, who taught? Who taught you to steal cookies and Milo and everything when you're small? Well, there was nobody who taught, sit you down and say, okay, in order to steal the cookie from the cookie jar, you have to get up at midnight. Any book is written like that? No. To do wrong things, nobody has to teach. But to do good things, all teachings have to be done. So now Bhagavan is telling there, those who have brought all the bad, evil qualities to an end by how? Making sure that we engage in all the good things. That will bring balance, isn't it? That will bring balance. Well, some people say, no, Bhagavan is talking about the other extreme now. I'll do all good things. You don't have to worry about that. We have to think that by nature I will do. You know how when we were little, right? Well, all the people who are sitting here, adult people in the back, right? Every day you have to wake up your children, isn't it? You had to wake up your children. Get up, boy. Get up, dear. Time to go to school. Have you heard? You see? And the same people who don't want to get up later on, they're doing that to their children. When they get children now, they will tell them, get up. And one father was telling the boy, wake up, boy. You don't know the early bird catches the worm. That boy said, Dad, that is exactly my point. You see what happened to that worm? He get up early. So, he have a good argument also not to get up early. But anyway, that sleeping late is tamas. So that is natural. Every child will. Natural thing. So you have to do something on the other side now to make sure you infuse some rajas in him. Wake up. But if you leave him, he will get no way in life. Nothing will happen. In fact, from one Durguna will lead to. Not only that, he'll not get up. From the next week, he start demanding breakfast in bed. So from one Durguna lead to the other. So he said, oh, now to that child, you infuse some rajas and make him do something worthwhile. Get up and all the people my age and all, they will tell you, we used to have to get up and do so many chores in the morning before going to school. before going through so many things. And nowadays, the young generation and all, you say, they have nothing to do and still they don't get up. So, infusing some rajas to get rid of that tamas, like that. The other side of the pair will bring about a semblance of balance, because here, in any case, this is imbalance. It's only sleeping, lazy, slothful, slumberish. I don't know if there's a word like that, slumbering. So, the ones who have brought all these papas, these negative things, to an end by engaging in all the positive things. And now in the 16th chapter, Bhagavan is making a list of all the positive things here first and all the negative things. This is chapter 16. So, Devi Sampat, all good qualities. Asuri Sampat, means like the Asuras. You know Asuras? Asuri Sampat, like this. So, two lists. Now, I want to tell you one more thing. How many verses I told you in the chapter? This chapter has 24 verses. Right? Very interesting thing. 24 verses. And Bhagavan is making two lists. The first 3 verses, Devi Sampat. So you minus 3 from 24. How many left? 21 verses left. Asuri Sampat. Meaning what? Well, the bad qualities are way more than the good qualities. But I'll tell you something, one more thing. The bad qualities listed here, way more in list, and the good qualities are a few, like this. But the something is like this. It doesn't matter how long this room has been dark and what is the intensity of the darkness. But all you need is one little lamp, one little diya, and you'll see everything in the room, isn't it? It means to say one good quality, even though the list is only 3 verses. One good quality is enough to obliterate so many of these bad qualities on this side. So don't be daunted by the fact that Bhagavan has just 3 verses with all the good qualities and then 21 verses with all of these. With the rest of the chapter with all of these durgunas. So this is called gunas and this is called durgunas. Gunas means all the good qualities. Durgunas means all the bad qualities, like that. Right? Or sulakshana and kulakshana. Sulakshana means good traits. Kulakshana means all. Everybody know this word, eh? Well, everybody my age and all. I sure when it is small, in the village, they call you Kulachan. This boy, I tell you, Bada Kulachan ba. Bada Kulachan ba. Means Kulachan is the Bhojpuri for Kulakshan. Like that. So, the Bhojpuri one is wrong when I say. That Bhojpuri one sounds so nice, I don't mind if they call me Kulachan. Anyway, so now Bhagavan is going to make this list of the 2, what call as Devi Sampat, and then later on we see Asuri Sampat, means all the good qualities. Now I will chant, those of you who are able to chant along. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hare Krishna. अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानं दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तप आर्जवम् जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की अभयम सत्व संशुद्धि ज्ञान योग व्यवस्थिति first quality to develop in our own heart. Right? Because why? All of us have so much of fear. Fear. Are afraid of so many things. And we usually don't give it thought, but our life is guided by fear. There are many people who will not come satsang because they are afraid, nothing finishing 8:30, and the way things going in Trinidad. So he didn't come to satsang because of fear. So like this, if you ask a very simple question, people go to work every day in a Trinidad traffic. When you come out 5 o'clock from Freeport, it back up till Port of Spain, 5 o'clock in the morning. So people in that hustle and bustle and that rushing to Port of Spain, rushing to the city and all, at that time in the morning, they're going out of love or out of fear? Who gets up on a Monday morning, especially, or Tuesday morning, like long weekend, and get up in the Tuesday morning. What a wonderful day! And I am so happy to trek all the way to Port of Spain and make my contribution to the uplift of Trinidad and Tobago. I can't wait. Who get up like that? When he get up, oh God, it's Tuesday already. God, man, I wonder if I could call the boss and tell him I would take one more day. And he's in his own mind, that's not a good idea. In his own mind, that's not a good idea. Because of what? Already take 4 days. We had a long weekend. 4 days gone. The boss will fire me for sure. So out of fear now, without even calling the boss, he get up and or business or whatever. Fear he will lose his business. But I'm telling the species is driven by fear. The entire species, not only this species, all species, driven by fear. It's an amazing thing. So this fear, which is a durguna, to be having in the heart all the time, fear, Bhagavan says, abhayam, to develop that fearlessness. ठीक है, जो होगा सो होगा. क्या होगा? What will happen? Humanity, the civilization has gone through this a million times. What has happened? Nothing has happened. We're still here. So, to drop fear in all its various manifestations, Bhagavan is talking about a very, very big word. Big word. Dropping fear, if this one word, if you do some vichara on this one word, you'll realize that we have to drop duality. It ends there. Because dvayat bhayam. Fear comes from duality. So in other words, we are talking at the very one end of the spectrum, and this is to be reflected on. Fear, ultimate fear will go away. When I give up the whole idea of duality, there are no two things in the universe. There's only one thing, one Paramatma who is manifesting as the boss and me, both. manifesting as all things in this universe. Only that realization will ultimately get rid of fear. Anyway, so Abhayam Bhagavan is talking about here that, you see, Abhiruta, he says, Bhagavan Bhashakari tells. Just one word he gives. To give up this thing called as fear. Sattvasham Shuddhi means, he says, purity of mind. Means every day I have to look at all the negative things in my mind. I want to take revenge on that fellow, And in Trini language, we have nice talk. We have nice, what do you call? Words for all of them. What is that? I go do for him. I don't know what I mean, But but I just hear in Trinidad, I would do for him. We like them kind of words. Oh, I will give him a piece of my mind. And you only have a piece left. And you want to give him a piece. Now what you have left? So how we plan? He said, no, these are all evil things in the mind. And he'll speak about them down the road. So to give them up. Sattvasam Shuddhi means purity of mind. Bhagavan Bhashakari gives here Paravanchanam, Andritam, and all the various type of means to engage in fraud and all the various types of cheating and to give up all of those things. That means to keep purity of mind. I should not want to. One of the most common thing is to get back at people. We have that thing so deeply embedded in us. I have to get back at them because they did such and such thing to me, or they said such and such thing to me, or what. We should never have in our mind to get back at anybody. But there's a big law of karma in the universe, and let the law take. Why you? We train our language. Say, why you hot in your head? To get back at anybody. Right. Then the next word is Sattvasham Shuddhi Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. This is a very big word also. Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti. Jnana means knowledge. Means to say Jnanam Shastrataha Acharyataha. Means to say the knowledge from the Shastras, from the scriptures, are explained by some teacher. Proper explanation. Not just come and make noise and say anything. From the scriptures are teaching certain things in a certain way. When I read a precept or study a precept from the teacher, from the Upanishad, from the Gita, whatever, right? It should not just be book knowledge. We keep saying that all the time. It should not just be book knowledge. It should become part of my being. I should put that into practice in my life. That is called Yoga Vyavasthiti. So not only to get the knowledge or the gyan, but Yoga Vyavasthiti. And what our rishis say, even little bit if I practice, Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, Bhagavan says in the Gita. Little bit of it if I practice even. See, suppose the doctor tells the twin brothers, what they get? Flu or COVID or something. So the doctor gave the cough syrup. And he said, okay, you have to take 2 spoonfuls of this, each of you. Take 2 spoonfuls before going to sleep. So one of the brother, he doesn't like the taste of because right buckly, it tastes awful. But it works. He doesn't like that taste. And the other brother, he also doesn't like the taste. But the first brother takes none. And the second brother who was supposed to take 2, take at least. He take 1. But that 1 is still better than none, isn't it? 1 is still better than none. So in the same way, all these practices of the Gita and the Upanishad, little bit of practice is still better than none. It should not just be book knowledge. This is the teaching. I should put it into practice. And how to put it into practice? When people go on, Swamiji, tell us practical Vedanta. But practical Vedanta means that you have to practice whatever is. People always want practical Vedanta. So the idea is like, this is practical Vedanta. The next time somebody tells you something that you don't like, you were in the habit of shouting back at them. You were in the habit of shouting back at them and telling them bad things. And that is your first response. So Bhagavan is telling, for example, in the Vivek Chudamani, Bhagavan Sri Shankaracharya writes there, Yogasya prathama dwaram vang nirodha. So I am in the habit of shouting back at this one, blurting out this thing and blurting out that thing. One little bit of practice, next time they tell me, I could get angry, but just don't say anything. That little thing is practice of Shastra. This is called practical Vedanta. So it should not just be that I know the verse and I quote it. And Shankaracharya say like this, Not just that I be able to quote it and know it, that is book knowledge. But really, when the person told you something bad, did you practice any iota of that precept? I kept it. So, the practice of the Shastra is what? Yoga Vyavasthitihi. So, Jnanam here is the knowledge of the Shastra, and the knowledge of the Shastra basically, the fundamental level is Jiva Brahma Ekya. I am like Tulsidaji is telling now. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Ishwar Ams Jiva Avinashi Chetan Amal Sahaj Sukh Rashi
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
The Jiva and Ishvara are same. Ishvara Amsa Jiva. Like the Jiva is only a fraction of Ishvara. A fraction there has to be taken with some understanding. So this is the basic teaching of the Shastra, right? Fundamental teaching. Okay. So now that knowledge which is given in the Shastra should become part of my life. So what is the meaning of become part of my life? That the next time I'm seeing the other person, I have to remember that the other person is also part of the same Ishvara and I'm also part of the same Ishvara. And therefore, I will not say anything bad or say anything evil to Ishvara. So if I don't bring this practice into the life, it means I just have book knowledge. So this first line is telling like this. The real good Daivi Sampat is to have knowledge and to bring the knowledge as practice in my life. It's called Daivi Sampat. Then Dhanam. I think I got all the words there. Yes. Dhanam Tamascha Yajnascha Swadhyaya Tapa Arjavam. Dana means to be charitable. It's such a, really speaking, those who have learned this art of being charitable really are closer to realizing Brahman. Why? Because one of the absolute requirement of mukti realization is to realize that nothing in this world is mine. If I have not realized that nothing in this world and I still feel this is mine and this is mine and this is mine, well, it means to say that I have a strong identification with things in this world, and therefore I am far away from mukti, far away from enlightenment. So much so that the Shastras tell that this body also is not mine. What to talk about any other material thing in this world. And so the person who realizes that, he automatically becomes charitable. The thing is not mine. Let me see how it can be used to help this world. And there are many people who understand that, and there are many people who practice that. That's why Chinmaya mission is surviving. There are many people who understand that and practice that. Otherwise this mission cannot survive. If people have been giving dan, people have been giving charity, people have been giving support to this mission for 30 years, as I heard they were telling. So there are people who understand that thing. So, dhanam, giving in charity, requires some deeper understanding. Now, they can be followed from two standpoints. Which the first standpoint is, well, you grow up in a house where you see your mother and father and the elders in the house, they keep giving to others. They keep giving to the society, giving to the community and to others. So you learn it from like that. Well, my father used to do, my mother used to do. In fact, I learned that from my mother only. I saw her just easily just giving. So just you learn like that. We don't know any value behind it or anything. You see the elders doing, so you do. So that is one thing. And of course that comes to sanskar we are talking about. And the other is, you understand that the world in which we are living, everything I got from this world only. I didn't bring it when I was coming. When I came here, I didn't even bring one suit of clothes on my back. Correct or not? I didn't even bring one suit of clothes on my back. So everything which I have today, I got it from this world. And I will leave it in this world only and go. So why in those 70, 80 years I'm holding on, oh God. Holding on like that. Some people, as such, you can't get a pin even. A pin even. No. So that means his journey of mukti is a long way. Until I have really learned to relinquish everything in this world up to this body. Up to the body. And there are some traditions, like the Parsi tradition in India, when they drop this body also, they say, leave it so that the birds could have something to eat. So even death, there is charity. They're still giving to the birds, like that. So, dhanam, this is called a big word, damaha. Damaha is the next word. Dhamma means the control of all the various sense organs, all the external sense organs. Dhamma, to be able to, you will see that. You will see, children are active, right? They run and play and jump and that kind of thing, right? So children by nature, they're active, have a lot of energy. They can't stop running and screaming. That is good. That is a sign of a healthy child. Running and screaming and all that kind of thing. Now, when they come to Bal Vihar class, like now they sit down in the Bal Vihar class here, or they go to school, that time for the child to be able to sit down and pay attention on the board. It is true when you're outside, you run and play and jump and scream and all that kind of thing. But the child should also have the ability to sit quietly and pay attention. Those are two different things, isn't it? So the second one is what is being spoken about here for children and for adults and for everybody. To be able to sit quietly, keep all the senses in place and pay attention. Many times we are not able to do that. You see people sitting on the lawn, they pull out a bundle of grass. They're sitting on the carpet, they pull out all the fibers. So it means to say something, hand have to be good. Some people can't keep their hand quiet. Anything, they're called monkey behavior, like. Dama means, अच्छा ठीक है ना, समय तो बदल गया,
Things different change. I was doing that there, now I have to do something else. Here, like that.
So Dhamma means control of all the external organ. And this, of course, can be applied to so many various ways. Yajna, yajna means sacrifice. So to be able to sacrifice, and sacrifice in all its various meanings. So yajna, which you know, is if the community gets together. Back in the day, they used to have something called Panchauti Yajna. Have you heard? Panchauti Yajna. Or like this now, how Hajay and Dayanand and all the different people here came together, sank, and everybody working so hard to put this whole thing together. So they are sacrificing their time, they are sacrificing their resources, they are sacrificing their everything, isn't it? The family time, they could have been, they could have gone to Starbucks and sit down there. You leave that. Come, put your time, have meeting, come together, see where all the elements of the Gita discourses, what are things are required, food, chair, sound, AC, getting there, everything. How many things have to get back in place? So, sacrifice. Sacrifice one thing for something greater, like that. Sacrifice is always giving up one thing for something better, greater, higher, more noble, more ennobling, like that. You see? So this sacrifice or yajna should be there, and it should always be, well, not should always be. If it is for the benefit of others, it is better. Like in Bhagavad Gita, in this same Bhagavad Gita, in the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan talks about sacrifice. Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha. By sacrifice is born rain. Parjanyat danna sambhavaha. From rain is born food. And from food, all human beings are born. Like that, he gives a whole string of things, right? But it starts with yajna, with sacrifice. In other words, it is one thing is sacrificing for the other, like that. Okay, yajna, swadhyaya stapa arjavam. Swadhyaya means self-study. Means studying the Shastra, Rig Veda, the Vedas, the Upanishad, the Gita, the Ramayana, Bhagavatam, whatever, so many things. To go on studying every day. Everything is in English now. And not only that, you don't have to go and buy a book only also. Because you get everything on, you have to go there, Google Guru. You get everything right there, fingertip. So to study the scriptures, swadhyaya, tapa. Tapa means to bear some hardship. Human beings don't like to bear any hardship. This is an interesting thing. Look here. People don't like to bear any hardship. Right? And that bearing hardship, not bearing hardship, they superimpose on other people also. And this is a big, big mistake the whole species makes. Like for example, I bore a lot of hardship and I don't want to see my children bear any hardship. Hardship makes a human being, and everything easy makes a spineless being. Hardship makes a human being. We should not superimpose our fear of hardship on others. No, we don't want our children to go through that, But that was the thing that made you, that thing made you into a straight, upright, powerful, resilient human being. And you don't want your children to go through. So what do you want to make them then? So the tapa, I'm just telling you simple language. Tap means to burn in Sanskrit. But in simple language, hardship. People don't like it. That is why you see, we have all the way. People, you see, if we have a school here and we don't put AC, who will send the children? Oh God, my beta, go there and you go, burn. You see? People don't like. But hardship is a great, great ennobling thing. Huh? So that's why we see, like for example, where are we now? In Cunupia, that side. Shivaratri day, we walk from the hardship. That's ennobling. Walk from the Kumak Junction all the way to Tapovan Ashram. 6.5 hours non-stop walking. So that is called tapas. In Shastras, anybody who likes a civilization, a species who like everything easy, one day that thing is going to lead to. Let me just, you don't know because we don't think about it. Let me just give you an example. No, there are so many. The time gone too. There are millions of pieces of debris floating around the earth, something like 24 million pieces floating around the earth, left back from all the space missions that we have sent and all the satellites. So there are something like 15,000 satellites or whatever numbers, and they're going to make it like 100,000 by 2030. And every time they send up all of these things, they are space junk, they call it. And they are thinking that once there is a collision in space, there will be what we call a ripple effect, or what we call domino effect. And because we like everything easy, you like broadband and 5G and all 10G and whatever G. And one man was saying, what? In my days, man, there was no 3G and 4G and 5G, there was only Mataji and Pitaji and Guruji. And if anything wasn't working, one thappar from Pitaji, everything come back working. Yeah. So anyway, we have all this space junk going on, and because human beings like everything so easy, you don't want to wait 6 weeks for a mail that you sent out and letter come back and what? Click. And it's gone. And on that side, click. And it's easy. Come back. So we have now made ourselves so dependent on all of these satellites. And when this domino effect happens, the entire earth will shut down. Power grids and airports and flight, there will be mass chaos. And the species is heading for that. Why it is heading for that? Simple thing. We like everything easy. So we back ourselves to easier. We back ourselves into a most vulnerable position that the whole species could be wiped out in no time. Because easy. I like everything. So how more significant is this word tapas when that comes through the Shastras? So tapa arjavam, last word is there. Arjavam means straightforward. So a good quality to develop is straightforwardness. Now one more thing I have to tell you. The Shastras go on telling over and over, like for example, Bhagavan talks about speech in, here it will come only. He talks about speech and he says that the speech should be satyam, it should be truth. I mean, whatever you're telling should be truth. That is straightforward thing. But in very next word is saying that it should be priyam and it should be hitam also. It means to say it is the truth, but if you're going to tell the truth to offend somebody, if you're going to try to tell the truth to hurt somebody, if it is the truth, let it be the truth. Why you have to tell it? Why you have to tell to hurt somebody, to offend somebody? So even the truth, if it is going to hurt or offend, or if it is going to bring this benefit to the truth stands by itself, doesn't need your defense. Let it be like that. So when it says arjavam, straightforwardness, or to tell the truth or that kind of thing, it doesn't mean. So see what the Trini sentiment is. We hate, well, Trini, I don't know, it might be all about. But me, I care about them now, I was telling the truth. I don't care about them, I was telling the truth. Well, even the truth can bring pain, and therefore our intention should never be to bring pain. So if it is the truth, I could just keep quiet. Like that. If it's going to bring pain. If it's not going to bring pain, I have to tell the truth. I tell where it is required, like that. Okay. So anyway, straightforwardness is a word that has to be thought about so much also. All right. Now, with great difficulty, I managed to get through one verse. And I had to keep jumping there. But I only have 2 more days left. I have 23 verses left. That sounds like an impossible task. Very possible also. Alright. Let me tell you some announcements. Bookstore is open. Kita. You are there. Bookstore is open and there are t-shirts also on sale. Please look at the bookstore before you. Tell others also about this yajna which is going on and invite your friends and neighbors and everybody to come out. Hanuman Yatra we are having. We're going to have Yatra walking from Chinmaya ashram to Datta Yoga ashram. Hanumanji will walk there on Sunday, 19th April. This is just another Sunday coming. 6 a.m. Come on, walk. Go through some little difficulty, some hardship. Tell others also, come and join. Everything should not be so easy. Alright? Women in Ramayana monthly satsang is going on 4:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, the 12th April. This is Sunday coming. Residents of Vashti and Prem Vardhan, Chandanagar, Karapi, China. I don't know how you pronounce that. Chandanagar. But in Trinidad we call it something else. Chanagor. Chanagor. Okay. Gurudev Jayanti Yajna and Gurudev Mela on the 7th, from 7th to 9th of May, 7 to 9 p.m. at the ashram. Gurudev Jayanti Yajna and Gurudev Mela, it's our 75th anniversary and we are celebrating in so many ways. That's why we're having all these various types of programs. Now here is the opportunity for all of us to get involved in a massive, global, one-of-a-kind program. Everybody who's sitting here, don't miss the opportunity. On the 9th of May, at 10 a.m. local time, 9th of May, next month, we are going to have 108,000 people from across the whole globe, from New Zealand to the US to France to Hong Kong to everywhere, 108,000 people chanting chapter 15 of Bhagavad Gita simultaneously. Guinness Book of World Record is coming to record and to inspect and to give a certificate to every participant. This is going to be the first time in the history of civilization that 108,000 people will be chanting Bhagavad Gita simultaneously. You don't have to know it, you just come at your book and chant. But for that, you will have to register, because Guinness Book of Records want to know who is chanting, who are the participants, registrants. So you'll have to register and you'll have to give $5. If you cannot give the $5, don't worry about it. We just talk about Dhanam, charity. If you cannot give the $5, we say, don't worry, Chinmaya Mission will give it. Chinmaya Mission will give the $5 for you. But registering is the more important thing. So don't miss every single person who is there. Don't miss it. On the 30th of May, we have the Chai San Melan at the ashram. And that is a yearly function. And I have a 1-week course in Chinmaya Mission Guyana. It is called Dharma Veer course. 1 week. June 1 to June 7th. Dharma Veer course. Bhagavad Saptaha. You know Bhagavad Puran, we do 9 times, 7 days, 3 times a day. Bhagavad Puran. 7 days, 3 times a day. That is coming in August. Look out for that, 9th to 15th of August. And 75 Shri Hanuman Puja. 75 consecutive morning of Hanuman Puja. For those of you who want to sit down for that Hanuman Puja, please contact the ashram. I will be doing the puja. Yeah, I usually don't do puja. I'm not going outside, I'm doing the ashram. But I will be doing Hanuman Puja in the ashram 75 mornings consecutively, non-stop, 75 days. Right? You'll have to register to be Shrota for that puja. Alright, I think those are the announcements. Bhagavad Gita, bird's eye view. Hanuman Chalisa. Gita's words of guidance. And this is Srimad Bhagavad Gita. It is said that the first Hindu Prime Minister who took his oath of office used this Bhagavad Gita. Well, not this copy, but Gurudev's Gita. Yes. And the man who took it for him to take the oath, he told me. He said it was Gurudev's Gita. And he gave the Prime Minister to take the oath. It's a very famous commentary on Bhagavad Gita. All right. I think that will be the announcements, and then Aarti. Any other thing I left out? Yeah? Om Jai Bhagavad Gita, Maya Jai Bhagavad Gita, Harihi Kamala Vihari, Harihi Kamala Vihari, Sundar Supunite, Om Jai Bhagavad Gita. Kama Sakti Haramaya, Tattva Jnana Vikashini, Vidya Brahma Param, Nishala Bhakti Vidhayi, Nirmala Malahari Maya, Sharan Rahasya Pradayini, Sab Vidhi Sukhkari, Raga Dvesha Vitari, Tarini Mot Sada Maya, Bhavavaya Harini Tarini, Paramananda Pradhan, Asura Bhava Vinashi, Nashini Tamarajani Maya, Hari Rasika Sajani, Samata Tyag Sikhavan, Hari Mukh Ki Bani Maya, Sakal Shastra Ki Swami, Shruti Yog कृपा की जय मैया
मातु कृपा की जय।
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
अपनो कर ली जय।
ओम जय भगवती जय। जय भगवती जय मैया जय भगवती जय। हरि कमल बिहारी हरि कमल बिहारी सुंदर सुपनीते। ओम जय भगवती जय।
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 मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलाय तनो हरिः। त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत। I want to recognize Sankan Lynette who has joined us here today. By great compassion, initially able to run his programs in these premises. Thank you very much, both of you. Okay. Please tell us and we'll see you tomorrow. I have something to provide for everybody. Please have something on your way out.
ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः।